used to have, they used to have. So anyway, why would you use words like strategy and tactics related to saintlyism? You know, well, if you look up even a religious founder, not only a good person is related to a saintly, you know, but a religious founder. I gave lectures in South Africa, and they would give me a whole booklet of their founder back in India, and the whole history. Nice, you know, because they know I didn't know anything or not enough. So, a religious founder, the head of a religious order. Now, what is As-Sabiqun? It's a religious order, right? It don't make no difference that it's us sitting here right now, but we are a religious order. We're part of the giant scope of Islam, just like all Catholics are part of so-and-so, but they have Saint Francis. He likes little children, right? They have Saint Nicholas, that's what they call Santa Claus, because the kids couldn't say Saint Nicholas, so they shortened it to Santa Claus, Saint Nicholas, you know. No, a lot of words that you see the Tsar. Tsar is short for Caesar, right? And you look at all of those European languages, and you'll find a Caesar in there, a Tsar, you know what I mean, in there. Okay, so language carries on, but anyway, so it should be rational. Is it rational that we would choose something that we have some chance of success? Of course it is. It's rational. Is it irrational for us to choose something and they got all the weapons and they got all the people and they got all of it? Is ignorant to use that. That's why if somebody comes to us talking about we're going to blow up this, I don't even say, well, if you want to blow it up, go blow it up yourself. I don't say that anymore, because nowadays that's conspiracy. Yeah, years ago, conspiracy was different than it is now. Now, you just have to be quiet. Well, I declare. You can't say anything that hints to them, oh, you go do that. Now, that's conspiracy. Yeah. Okay. It has to be compatible. It should be compatible with our source of life, which is living, the Quran, Hadith, and what have you. It should be compatible to those things. The goal, the direction, all of that should be compatible. So we have to think, what level are we on in all of this? What does this saintliness have to do with it? Well, for years when people would steal radios, cameras, shoes, or anything from here, it's been 20 years we've been saying, may Allah make it halal for them. I don't know if y'all know. May Allah make it halal for them. That statement's come from Imam Zainul Abidin, the fourth Imam. But we've been saying it too. Those people are classified as Urafa and higher. They're technically Imams. Well, if we do the same thing they do, why can't we be that? Why do our goal, or what we want to be, our self-image, have to be Chairman Mao or Stalin or Lenin or somebody like that? Why? Does the Sunnah of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam exclude our order adopting Quran, Sunnah, right? Traveling in history, going around and see, and our experience. Why can't we have people that, why can't, I'll just put it in English. Why can't a Negro be a saint? Why do they always have to be somebody else? We used to have on a thing, in fact, they use it in South Africa. Greatness of purpose, smallness of means, and astounding results. That is one of the Western definitions of greatness. Greatness of purpose, smallness of means. You don't have nothing to make this happen. And astounding results. When we had some programs in South Africa, we had that on all our stuff, and I said, let that speak for Imam Khomeini. Greatness of purpose to establish a revolution that survived past his death. Imam Khomeini died in 89. It's 10 years after the revolution. Every anniversary was considered a miracle. Can you imagine any state before Iran surviving? Could Nicaragua do it? They had the same thing in 79. What? Iran-Contra, all this and that. And pretty soon, they bottled up. You know what I mean? Fidel Castro went there. All kind of people was pulling for it. But it doesn't have the same level of independence and what have you that the Islamic Republic has. And has had, what is this coming up? Is this 42 years? Or 40, this will be the 42nd year. Because the brothers had called me and said, we want you to do something or other in February 13th, 42nd. I think it is 42nd anniversary of the Islamic Republic. 42. So if we say, may Allah make it halal for them for stealing some shoes, right? If that's what one of their great personalities would say, if we say the same thing over and over and over again, they say it once. We say it over and over and over again. And we ourselves are facing unbelievable, look, it don't make no difference what nobody say. The more challenges you face, the bigger you get. They must have forgot that lesson. It's a rule. It affects everybody. So what are these dummies doing? If they got you hurting so much one day you can't hardly talk, but you say, I'm going to make a study of pain. I'm going to study pain. Where it comes from, where it go, how to use it. What's the purpose of pain? I'm going to make pain a laboratory. We're going to embrace pain. That's what we said last week, 2 weeks ago, right? That's what we did. That's exactly what we did. And that day we was talking about it, that was one of the most painful, it was not one of the, it was the most painful day of my life, technically. It was unbelievable how they could have you, so if you move, just one move, you hurting, right? So, we say we're going to embrace pain. Like run after it. I love pain. Well, when you do that, eventually you're going to conquer pain. And we got it easy. What about those people that need hydrotherapy and those people that they have a small chance of ever walking again and all of that? Okay, we know that we're going to be walking either this week or next week, or it don't make, you know what I mean? So if they can do that from a wheelchair, why can't we do our struggle from a crutch, just getting by? And what happens? Whatever, you have to think, is this internal? After it comes so many times, right? Is this something that came internal? Is it something coming from an external source? Well, after a while, you can just study yourself. Have I touched anything? Have I did? What have I did? Da, 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 da. Internal. That means that this is an internal thing. That whether it was in 74, when they clipped you or tagged you, like they tag animals, but they did. They did that. The whole reason that thing coming looking here, we just want to check up there. And so they did what they call a biopsy. Yeah, a little biopsy right up there. So we don't know what they put there. But we know from then on, this is in 74, they didn't have to look for me. Or if I'm running down the trail on the 8th mile, I might shoot off into the woods. Off the woods, the whole thing is big, nice regional parks and hills and all of that stuff. Okay. When you get to the first clearing, there they are, bumping into each other. And you just stay there behind the tree for a while, and you watch them. But they are close to where you are. That means the thing they got. And you don't do it every now and then. You do it a lot, because you got to prove, you know what I mean? One time, that's fine. But no, I want to see for sure, over and over and over again, over the years. Over the years. So now, what about later on? They give you blood tests in South Africa, and then pretty soon they got a reading on what they need to do to you right now to make you do something, whatever. Then you have to go to the hospital. When you go to the hospital, they got you covered. They got, that's it. And they always, then, when you go to the hospital over here and they open up your brain with that history, you mean they ain't got no new gadget they're going to put inside of your head? The people came to visit me, that's the first question, right? They put anything, and yes. Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. They give you a headache, exactly right. Give you a heart, that's right. No, I'm certain of that. I'm certain of that. I already, hey, look, I am a walking, but to deal with that, you got to get big. And you got to keep them off balance. You got to say, okay, I'm sitting right here, dear world. Now, if boss man do this, if boss man do that, you selling wolf tickets. And pretty soon, well, we're going to change this to psychological guerrilla warfare. And then if he got something in your head, which we'll talk about in a little while, pretty soon you have to face that and conquer that. Whatever it is they put in you, this technology, that does make a difference. They're human beings. You got something, can conquer that. And remember, all colonial powers have always had the native peoples outgunned. Always. The Romans had the Carthaginians outgunned. Except when, what's the name, come over. Atlas Mountains or something. Hannibal, a couple of times. But over the long run, right, they have catapults and they have all kind of stuff that the barbarians, they're not aware of. And they always kill, the numbers are 10 to 1, 5 to 1. They kill the people like that. They slaughter people. The United States have slaughtered so many people in Iraq, it's unbelievable. Okay, this new technology that they have, it's not new. This stuff goes back so far, it's unbelievable. The Soviet Union is ahead of them on that stuff. You know, man, back in the 60s, they hit you with a little thing in the leg, and then that thing would travel on up through your body, and pretty soon you was just finished. Not to change the subject, but all of these stuff they blame it on the